everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. I've been Bala here again. Welcome. I'm really excited to be here. So today we are continuing our a day in the life webinar series with a day in the life of a graphics designer. With me today, I have to have a career as a graphics designer. We've done all the things you need to know about what working on a day to day as a data analyst looks like. We've done a day in the life of a WordPress developer, and you probably have some idea of what a graphics designer is, and that's amazing. But we have a professional with that. What skills you need to have, what certifications, if any, what trainings you need to have to make a successful career out of graphics design. So, without any further ado, I'm going to bring on the stream our guest speaker for today, Ijoma Alfred. Hi, Ijoma.
Hi. Hi, Abimbola. Good morning. Hello, everybody. Oh, good afternoon. It's already afternoon.
Hi, Ijoma. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Hello, everybody. It's good to be here. I always like a gathering of women. And this is something I really, really like. Having women.
Yeah. I'm very sure you have a lot to share with us. So I'm just going
Yeah.
to share. So I'm just going to share our questions line up, so our viewers can see and follow through as we walk through them. So very quickly, just start us through your journey into graphics design. A lot of women or a lot of people really grow up knowing I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer. For you, was it always graphics design, or was there a turning point in your life, or was it a transition period from where you were into graphics design?
Nah, it was not always graphics design. I started out as a social media manager. Um, it was during my NYSC. I was sent somewhere to serve in Lagos, and because I studied English and I was sent to a company that doesn't do anything related to English, and so they asked what I could do for them. I mean, since I studied English, and I asked them what they needed. Long story short, I landed in the social media department and I became a social media manager. Along the line, I realized that this social media thing, you also need to have design skills because most of the times you need social media graphics. And for most businesses, especially in Nigeria, young businesses that don't exactly have money to employ so many people and put in a particular department, so you get to have one or two people working as the full department. So that was how I realized that I needed to learn how to design. So I started out learning by myself, and then I saw opportunities, scholarships, trainings, and all of that. So it's been over 3 years down the line, and I can tell you categorically that I am enjoying myself. So that's how I landed in the design field.
All
Can
right,
you
thank
still hear me? Oh,
you
okay.
very much for that, Ijoma. Moving on now, can you just explain to us who is a graphics designer? What do you do on a day to day? What are some of your tasks, responsibilities? What do you do as a graphics designer?
Well. So a graphics design, I like to see a graphics designer as someone who enjoys a very colorful world. You understand? So the world of a graphics designer is very colorful. in simple terms, a graphics designer is someone who creates visual ideas to make things look appealing and to communicate effectively. You understand? So, I don't want to start reading out technical terms, but a graphics designer is someone who puts ideas into visuals, into um, graphics, so that you can communicate with your audience without necessarily saying what you want to say. You use, other mediums, use visual mediums. So that's what a graphics designer is, basically. So your second question, can you hear me?
Yeah, my second question was around, your roles and responsibilities. What do you do on a day to day? What are some of your tasks on a day to day as a graphics designer?
My tasks would be dependent on the assignments of the day. You understand? So, as a graphics designer, you get to work on a multiple. You get to work on multiple projects. You could design a logo today. You could be designing a complete brand identity tomorrow. So it would usually depend on the tasks that you have per time. So usually if you have to design a logo, so it means that you're going to have to get down to it. There's really no, how do I put it? There's really no box to say that, oh, this is what graphics designers get to do every single day. It all depends on the task for the day. So if, for example, you're going to be designing billboards, you understand? So it depends on the task for the day. I hope I answered your question right.
Yes, yes. I think you very much did. Thank you very
Okay.
much. Okay. Could you tell us, what are some yeah, you very much did. You answered my questions. Thank you very much. Okay. Moving on now. Because like I mentioned earlier to you during our conversations, a lot of people, a lot of our trainees, ladies watching on this stream are newbies to tech, and some of them might not be newbies. Some of them might be transitioning from one field of tech to another. So, what would you say as a newbie in the tech space? How would you advise a newbie in tech space or someone transitioning graphics design is the best fit for them? I'm very new to tech, but how do I know this design is what would be the best fit for me?
Well, I think that it's best to um, observe your tendencies, right? So for me, um, like I said, I started out as a social media manager, but I realized that I was doing better as a designer. Do you understand? So um, I would design the brand's social media designs, the company that I started with. So I would create their designs and I'll find out, this thing is fine, oh, So I started to hone my skills, but right from time, I've actually always been an arts person, someone who likes to draw, to do paintings, you understand. So you see that, just like I always like to say that everything that we go through in life. Um, I don't know if you guys can still hear me because I can see Abimbola's screen is buffering. Let me know if you can still hear me, if you can see me.
Um,
Hello.
Hello, Ijoma. Hello. Good morning.
Hi.
I'm sorry. I think Abimbola has a network issue, so I
Yeah.
will be stepping in for her while she tries
Okay.
to rectify that um, issue.
All
Okay,
right. Yeah,
great.
that's great. Thank you.
Okay. She's back on. Let me.
Okay. Hi, Abimbola. Oh,
Okay. Yes. Hello.
hi.
She's still trying to rectify her issue, so I'm going
Yeah.
to take over from her from here onwards.
Okay.
Okay, so the next question is what unique opportunities has this career choice prepared you up for? What has it given you? What unique opportunities have you experienced as a result of being a graphic designer?
So one of the very unique opportunities that being a graphics designer has opened for me is an opportunity to um, work with uh, good guys in the industry, like lots of tech startups and all of that. But the most interesting one for me is being able to impact the knowledge that I have into other people. So I get to teach graphics design. It's something that I'm very passionate about, especially teach it to women. Because I like to always say that the life of a woman and that of a man are different. You understand? So I like to use the skills that I have to impact women. So that's one of the unique opportunities, the unique doors that being a graphics designer has opened to me. Because I mean, I see that I can work from the comfort of my home. I don't get to go out. Like I could stay in the house for weeks. The negative side is that I don't get to do a lot of physical, so I have to do my workout at home, so it's actually an opportunity for other women because I mean you could work from home while attending to other needs in the house, you understand. So that's why I am very particular about impacting the skills that I've learned into other women. So that's one of the doors that it has opened for me. Another is an opportunity to put myself out there as an authority in the design field. You understand? So apart from the fact that I get to work with top brands, it has given me the confidence to put myself out there and say that I am this. You understand? So that's basically it. Thank you, Merab.
Thank you. That is wonderful. Those are like wonderful opportunities. I mean, the ability to teach other women. You get. I think that's really amazing. So, most of these women are newbies in tech field, and in this field, graphic design, per se. And I'm sure a lot of them would like to know what are the challenges that face the graphic design field, and how have you been able to navigate those challenges personally? How have you been able to solve those challenges? What are some of the biggest challenges that you have faced, and how have you been able to solve those challenges as a graphic designer?
Okay, I actually have a slide that I prepared. Would it be good to share? Would it be okay? Can I go ahead and share?
Yes, yes, I
All
think
right.
you could. Yes, sure.
Oh, okay.
And
Oh, okay. I'll have to. Okay, just give me a moment. So, one of the major challenges that I had when I started out was time management. Please confirm that you can hear me, Mirab.
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, can you see me also?
I can see you.
Okay. All right. So, one of the major challenges that I had when I started out was time management. I think it's still a challenge, but we're getting better at it. So time management was a big challenge for me because you know how working from home can be.
Yes, yes,
Yeah. So you know how working from home can be. Other things get to eat into your work time, and your work time gets to eat into the other things that you have to do. You understand?
yes, I do.
So please confirm when you can see my screen.
I think you have not started sharing yet, so
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure. Once I see your screen, I will help you put it up. Or in the meantime, you could just talk us
Okay.
through it while you're trying to set it up.
Yeah. Can you see it now?
Yes, I can.
Okay. All right. So the one of the major challenges that I had is time management and burnouts. I had a lot of burnouts because I was trying to do everything at every, like, I didn't have a specific time for the things that I needed to do, So that was when I realized that I think I need to take interest in learning about time management as a remote staff, and as a freelance graphics designer at the time. So that was when I started learning time management. I started learning to set boundaries. So you can see here managing work life balance and burnouts. So the truth about work life balance is that um I don't know how to put this, how best to put it that you really understand me, but there's actually nothing like work life balance. It's an elusive chase. You continue to chase work life balance because there's actually nothing like it. The truth is, set boundaries, know what should be done and at what time. Don't let what's it called, multitasking is a trap. Many of the times multitasking is a trap. The truth is that you can't do two important things at the same time, two very important things at the same time. For example, you can't send an email to your boss and cook at the same time. They are not, except one is more important than the other, or you probably have written the email and you just want to click send, right? So you can't do these two things that are important at the same time. So the thing is, which one is more important? So um to prevent burnouts and prevent stress, because stress comes from lack of accurate time management, right? Please confirm that you can hear me and you can still see me.
Can see you and hear you loud and clear.
All right, thank you. So one of the things that I started out to do was to set boundaries. I had fixed times, as my work time, and I had a fixed time as, after work hours. You understand? And the truth is that there's no one what's it called? There's no one cap fits all rule for time management and for setting boundaries. Find out what works for you. For some of us, working late in the night might be better for you. You understand? So I'm not saying that, oh, that's going to be better for everybody, right? So, but find out what works for you. per time. Don't let multitasking suck you into its arms. That thing is deception, right? So create a dedicated workspace. So, most people will say, I work from home, I work from home. Where is your workspace, Gong? You understand? You don't have a workspace. You probably sit in the living room. The living room can be your workspace, right? So create a dedicated workspace so that when you're sitting there, you know that I'm actually working, right? That temptation to want to sit on the bed for people that work from home, the temptation to want to sit on the bed might make you get carried away. Like I said at the beginning, remember what works for you. It has to be, you have to find out what works for you, right? So this is not like a hard and fast rule, right? So next thing is to prioritize. Like I already said at the beginning, don't try to multitask, prioritize. Another thing is to take breaks. One thing that I don't know, maybe they taught us in school, but we probably didn't learn it, right? During in your school timetable, secondary school, primary school, even in the university, there's usually break time, right? But when we get to start working by ourselves, especially if you work from home, you're an entrepreneur, you're a freelancer, you don't remember to add breaks to your schedule, right? And this is very, very important. 30 minutes break, 10 minutes break, stand up, stretch your legs, walk around, you know. This will also help you to refresh your memory, right? You've been staring at the screen for a very long time. I always like to say to creatives that you, the creative, you, the the tech, the tech guru, you are the creative person. It's not your laptop, it's not your workspace, right? Your workspace is not the creative person, it's not your laptop. You have to remember to take breaks and take care of yourself, right? So, and then the next thing here is to practice self care and then set realistic goals and timelines. This was one of my challenges, also setting realistic goals and timelines. I could get a call from a client that, oh, I want to design a this and that. Maybe I want to create a logo for my brand and I want you to do the brand identity and everything. And I'll say, oh, fantastic, you get it in 2 days. And that's not feasible, right? I'm not saying that it's not feasible for everybody, right? But considering the amount of work that I usually have on my table, it's not feasible. And so I realized that over time, I was always working under pressure. So I realized that I am not setting realistic goals and timelines. I'll just probably with the mind to want to make the client feel that, oh, this person works fast, right? But speed is not better than consistency, and speed is not better than quality delivery, right? So that's the thing. And then learn to say no, right? So if you can watch me, if you can see me right now, just say no, right? Learn to say no. Learn to stop taking the things that you are not really happy about, right? Especially in the workspace. Find the best way to pass your message that I'm not really happy with this, right? So you get too much work on your table, you don't get a good time to send in your deliveries, so you find out that you're always working under pressure. Learn to say what's on your mind. Say it in the most humble way. Say it in the most, I mean, use good communication strategies to pass your message across, but don't swallow it, right? Unplug, socialize, and then delegate. Some of the things, I don't know if we know about the 80-20 rules. Um, yeah, the 80-20 rule, that's the Pareto principle. So this principle works across every single aspect of our lives. You find out that, for example, in business, 20% of your clients are the ones that give you 80% of your income. The same thing goes the same thing goes for time management. 20% of your activities are the ones that yield 80% of the results. It therefore means that there's this 80% of other things that you're doing that don't really matter. So find out the things that matter. One, find out the things that you should be the one doing. Find out the things that you can delegate to. I mean, if you have someone who can do something 70% as good as you, delegate the task, right? So learn how to delegate. And then regular sleep. So I'm guilty of this. I'm I'm very guilty of it, right? So but I'm telling you guys now, try to sleep as I mean regularly as you should. You know, they say 5 hours, some people say 8 hours. I don't really know. Just do what works for you, right? I always like to say that when you know that you have stretched your body for a while, take a break and take a long nap. I mean, set dedicated times during the week that you get to, I mean, that you get to pay back your body for the backlog of lack of rest that you've had, because your body will come to collect the sleep. Oh, it will come to collect the, you understand, and that's when you start experiencing burnouts and breakdown and all of that. So try to sleep. And then another thing is to seek mentorship and coaching, right? Seek mentorship and coaching. I am telling you the truth, along the line you are going to feel overwhelmed. Along the line you're going to feel like everything they're saying you don't even understand. Where are you going to start from? Which one is this? What's this one? What's that one? Get someone who has passed through what you're passing through. Talk to them, share what you're going through with them, let them know how you feel, and then you'll be able to get a thing or two that will help you pass through that phase, right? What I always say, when you're tired, rest. Don't give up, right? Don't give up when you're tired. When you're tired is the time for you to rest, right? So when you feel overwhelmed, talk to somebody, talk to a mentor, talk to a coach, talk to a senior colleague, speak, right? Get someone to speak to. So I won't want to run through everything here. I know that Merab will be waiting for me to round off because I know we actually have limited time. Please confirm that you can still hear me and see
I
me.
can hear you. Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. If it's okay, if you want me to share my slides after the meeting, I could do that for the community members.
Okay. I'm sure the ladies would love to have that. Thank you so
Okay.
very much for
You're
that.
welcome.
Thank you. You've shared like some really insightful tips from, I mean, these are tips that they look simple, but in reality, they are not. I mean, as women, we have the tendency to want to carry the whole world on our shoulders, to want to multitask,
Mm,
to want to do a whole
yeah.
lot of at the same time. So these are
Yeah.
things that I'm sure that a lot of people may not have paid attention to on their new journey to being a graphic designer. And thank you for shining light on that and for, informing us and, letting these ladies prepare themselves for the new field and the world of technology ahead of them. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so can you share with us some of the different career paths or specializations within the graphic design field, and how can one determine mean the best in their interests and skills?
Hmm. So for this one, I'll say, cast thy bread, how does the Bible put it? Cast your bread upon many waters, right? So I like to say at the beginning, it's not, people will say, oh, don't do everything, focus on one thing. That's great, that's fantastic, right? But how are you going to know which one is good for you, right? So like I said at the beginning, observe your tendencies and then try an array of different um parts in the graphics design field. So I'll be sharing a few um areas of specialization in design, in graphics design. So here we go. So there are different areas of specialization, and truth be told, so many graphics designers, including myself, are doing between 5 to 7 of the areas. There are just a few designers that have niched down, like really, really niched down to a particular aspect of design, right? So there's logo design. um I'm sure there's hardly anybody that will not know what a logo is, but just in case, a logo is, a unique icon or symbol that is used to represent a brand. So logo design specializes in creating unique and memorable logos for businesses and organizations, right? So this is one area of graphics design that you can look into. Another one is print design. So print designers focus on designing materials for print, such as brochures, posters, business cards, and packaging, right? So, but like I said earlier, I mean, 90% of the designers that I know get to do between 5 to 7 of these um, areas of design. Then we have web design, designing websites, web pages, and user interfaces, right, for online platforms. And then we have the very popular UI UX design. I know that most of us have heard. I mean, UI UX has become so popular that if UI UX was a human being, it would be a celebrity by now. Do you get? So UI UX is very popular these days. So UI UX designers get to concentrate on user interface and user experience design to create intuitive and user-friendly digital interfaces and interactions. So this is one area of design that I really love because you get to solve problems before they become problems, right? So that's one area of design that I really love. And then we have illustration. There are designers that are illustrate that create illustrations, right? So creating original illustrations for various purposes, such as books, magazines, advertisements, and digital media. And then we have typography design, right? There are these designers that are typographers. It is their job to design fonts, to design, you know, custom fonts and layouts that emphasize typography, right? So, for example, when you're trying to, or rather, when you're designing, you get to find out that each font has a name, right? So they're not all just text, they have names, they have uses, they have times that they are suitable to be used. You understand? So there are designers who do this, who design fonts, right? Who design typography. And then we have one of my very favorites, motion graphics design. So this is creating animated visuals and graphics for videos and presentations and multimedia projects, right? So, motion graphics design is simply put, creating static designs and using um sophisticated design softwares. Okay, maybe not sophisticated anymore because AI is doing a lot these days. I mean, AI is doing a lot. So you could actually use AI to create some motion graphics, right? But you know, right? So motion graphics is simply creating static designs and using other design softwares or probably the same software that you use to create it to give life to it, right? So you make your design move. You understand, you make things move. So that's why it's called motion graphics, right? So you create animated visuals, right? And then branding and brand identity design, another area of design that I love. This is developing comprehensive visual identities, right? So, for example, when you think of an MTN, you think of a company like MTN. um you just yellow comes to your mind. Right? Yellow just comes to your mind, and then you remember the MTN logo, and then you start remembering some of the MTN ads that you have watched before, right? So that's part of their brand identity, right? So designing, I mean, it is visual designers that design these things. They come up with the complete visual identity for the brand, including the logo, including the colors for the brand, including the brand guidelines. You understand the way the logo and the colors are going to be used, the kind of fonts that the brand will be using, the kind of communication style, the tone of the brand, and blah blah blah. So brand identity design is an area that I really really love, right? And then we have packaging design, designing product. This used to be the product design before UI UX came and shine the light, I mean shone the light on itself, and collected the identity of product design. So this used to, I mean, this is still product design, right? So but it's actually product packaging design, right? So creating packaging designs for businesses, right? So let's think of a brand. Let's think. What's the Dufil? Yeah, Dufil, the company that makes Indomie noodles. So you think of the package, the pack, the Indomie pack, that was done by a designer, right? Or a team of designers, right? So that's an example of packaging design. All the nice sachets of stuff that you get to see, and gallons of stuff, I mean, bottles and everything that companies use to sell their products are actually designed by someone, right? So that's packaging design. Then we have advertisement design, crafting visuals for advertising campaigns, including banners, billboards, and online events, right? So I think this is pretty much explanatory. Having to do the design for advertisements of probably a particular brand or an event, right? So I mean, when you walk on the street, you see billboards, you see lamp posts, you see signages. Those were done by designers. Then we have environmental design, and that's designing graphics and visuals for physical spaces such as signages, exhibitions, interior design elements. Excuse me. Those people that their own work is to design using nature as a tool, right? So that's these are the environmental designers. Then we have game design, creating graphics and visual assets for video games, including character design, right? Backgrounds and user interfaces. Then we have social media design, icon design, data visualization. I mean, social media design is pretty much self-explanatory. Designing visuals that are tailored for social media platforms. I know that when you scroll social media, you get to see social media designs that maybe Lagbaja is doing promo, buy one get one free, and then they'll use a design, and then they'll put someone wearing nice stuff and advertising. So that's pretty much social media design. Then we have icon design. So there are people that are called um iconographers, right? So there are people, they craft icons, they create icons, right? So for example, when you are designing and you need maybe the icon of a padlock, or the icon of a key, or the icon of a door, or the icon of a, you understand, of an envelope for maybe you're a designer, you want to put somewhere where they will write the email, so you want to put an email icon there, and that's an envelope, right? So there are people who design icons. Then we have data visualization design. These are people that create infographics, graphs, and charts, right? So, like I said earlier, observe your tendencies, know what works for you. And the truth is that a lot of the times, you might have to actually do more than three of these design parts all at once, right? I don't mean all at once, like at once, so in one deal. I want to make sure that you get me right, right? So you actually get to do all of these but you get to do them, right? So that's it. Please confirm that you can still hear me and you can see me. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yes, we absolutely
Oh, Abimbola is back.
can hear and see
Hello.
you. Thank you very.
Hi, Abimbola.
Hi, hi. Yes, I can hear you. I
It's
can
good
see
to
you,
have you back.
and I'm sure everyone can hear and see you as well. Thank you very much. Okay, so I'm going to move very quickly to our next question so that we have time to take questions from the ladies. So the next question I have here is what advice would you give to those looking into graphics design as a career? And drawing from your own experience, what did you learn very early on in your career that you wish someone had told you and you absolutely have to tell someone coming into graphics design newly?
Hmm. So for this, I will say follow the rules, follow the principles. A lot of designers, especially graphics designers, stumbled into design, including myself. I told you my story. I started out as a social media manager and then I just I just landed into design. I found myself doing a lot of designs. But I had to go and then learn, right? So you need to actually subject yourself to learning, and learning takes time. Learning takes energy, learning takes effort, right? So subject yourself to learning and follow the principles. I always used to say that when something is hard for you, it means that there's something about that thing that you don't know yet. Because why? Knowledge brings freedom. Knowledge is liberation, right? Knowledge is, it's a bit of a cliche, but I mean, knowledge is power, right? So follow the principles. Design has principles, graphics design has principles. Learn these principles, and you will not make a step in the wrong direction, right? So learn the principles of design. Don't just go designing that I want to start designing and then you put text here, you put image there, you don't observe white space, you just put everything you wanna design. so so follow the principles. This is a lesson that I learned not very early because like I said earlier, I stumbled into design, but I had to take a step back and I took some time to learn. Like I invested about 6 months to learn, and I mean, learning never stops, so I'm still learning, right? So I wish someone had told me at the beginning that don't be designing anyhow. Go hold on, calm down and learn. And then I wouldn't like what I just said to put you into this unending circle of learning, right? You know about the imposter syndrome, and you know what that means, and you know what that can do to someone who is just coming out, right? So that's why I said learn the principles and start trying out, right? So I'm not saying you should enter that unending loop of learning and not putting yourself out there, right? So just learn the principles, right? So that's it. Learn the principles and start your journey, right? So I have here the principles of design, but I didn't explain them here because this space will not be enough, and
Okay.
this meeting won't be enough. So but I'll share the slide with you guys so that you can read about them by yourself.
Thank you so much for that, Ijoma. I hope everyone heard that. So you will get the slides for this session immediately after this. As soon as she shares that with me, I would share it for all of you to, go through, especially those who are very interested in graphics design as a career. You'll be able to read through, draw from high experiences. And this session will also be available on YouTube for you to watch and rewatch, just help you make a better decision and a firm decision. So you're more confident in your decision to go into graphics design as a career path. One more question that I have here, two actually, before we move into questions in the comment section. So if you have questions, now is the time to start dropping them, because after this question, very quickly, there's just one more, and then we'll take questions from the group chat, from the comment section. So Ijoma, you've been talking a lot about learning design and learning the principles. But what would you say are particular skill sets and habits necessary to thrive in that field? I don't expect that anyone coming into design comes in on a blank slate. What are some of those attributes, some of those habits, some of those skills you need to have in living in you, inbred in you, that you come into design and just build upon?
So the first thing I want to say is put your hand on your chest and say your name and say, I will finish what I start. Right? So finishing whatever you start is one of the very important skills, that you should have to thrive in the design field. In the tech space, because you know that this whole tech thing, this whole digital world is very attractive. Today they'll bring web design, tomorrow they'll bring UI UX, next tomorrow they'll bring animation, next tomorrow you'll be like, "Hey, let me do everything." Take one, finish it, move to the next one, finish it, right? Don't do things haphazardly. That's one of the important things that you need to have, the ability to sit down and finish what you start. That's one, right? The ability to sit and finish what you start, right? The next one is respect yourself. I don't mean in the sense, I don't mean I don't mean the Nigerian sense of respect yourself. Give yourself some respect. Take care of your body. Take care of yourself, right? It's easy for us to take care of things that are put into our hands, and if someone gives you something and say, "Oh, take care of this thing for me," you will take care of it very well. Why? Because you want to prove to the person that you can take care of things. But when it's time to take care of your own self, you will sit down with your PC or your learning materials. You sit with it. You won't remember to probably take a break. You understand? Do the things that you need to do to actually help your body regulate itself, to recover the lost energy, right? So respect yourself. Give yourself that respect that you give to other people by taking care of their stuff, and then take care of your own self, right? So that's one of the other things you need to have. And then the next thing you need to have is the patience, because some people think, the way they attracted most of us into this tech space, there's money. I saw this ad, I won't mention the brand, but most of us know Files the Bad Guy. So Files the Bad Guy did this ad for a company, and the ad started with something like this: "Hey, there's money in tech." They say I should tell you there's money in tech, right? And that's going to attract a lot of people, because he said there's money in tech, a lot of money. And then they started sprinkling dollars in the ad. I don't know if you've seen this ad, right? So this ad will attract a lot of people. And notions like this will still attract more people because we all like money. You understand? But the truth is that this tech money that we are looking for does not fall from the sky. It takes tenacity to sit down, finish what you start, and then move from a beginner to an intermediate, to the intermediate level of the skill that you're acquiring. And then, start putting yourself out. It takes time, right? So you have to have the patience. It's not blood money, right? They'll say tech money is like blood money. It's not blood money. Leave that story. You are going to have to work. So that's it for me. That's it for me. I hope I answered your questions, Abimbola.
Thank you
Can you hear
very
me?
much, Ijoma. Thank you. I think you've shared a lot of nuggets with us. Pace yourself. While there's money in tech, it's not blood money and it's not going to fall from the sky. You need to put in an equal amount of effort to get the amount of money that you are looking forward to. Thank you so much for that. So, one last question from my lineup before we get into questions from the comment section. So, very quickly, as from one fun fact from the design industry, a fun fact or a common saying, or what's that one thing that's unique to graphics design?
So this is something that a friend and a mentor always says. And I've heard most other popular graphic designers use this line. Um, they say white space is not your enemy, you know. So that's a fun fact. So white space in design is being able to leave some space in your page that is actually vacant for a reason. It's not vacant because you don't have something to put there, right? So you get to see a lot of designers, especially designers that are up and coming. They will put everything inside the design. Finish that design, pack everything and put there. There's no alignment, there's no, good spacing, there's no, you get. So the fun fact is white space is not your enemy. And white space doesn't mean white space. So I mean, the way we can see some white parts on the screen, that's not what it means. White space is a space that you are not using, right? Not because you don't have what to do with it, but you leave it there intentionally. So, for example, if you look at the screen, you can see some, spaces where there's just nothing there. So it adds to the general aesthetics of the design, right? So that's what white space is. So that's a fun fact in design, that white space is not your enemy. So that's it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ijom. I
Yes.
think we've come to the end of my questions lineup. I'm just going to jump right to the comment section and start picking out questions that we can answer very quickly before our time is up. Before I read the question, there's been a very recurring question that I think I should address. People want to know, if I decide to take graphic design as a course, would it encompass all of the design or all of the fields of design that she has mentioned? I want you to know that answer one. Two, we're taking you from novice to intermediary. And I promise you, we cannot fit everything design into the space that takes you from novice to intermediary. So you're not going to learn every single thing about graphics design in the space of 3 months. That's not possible. You have to go outside of this training to give yourself room for growth, to give yourself room to learn more. So you're not going to learn every single thing that she has said. All of liaise with our design trainer to make available for you an idea or a general maybe curriculum or something that can guide you. But you should know right now that you are not learning every single thing that has to do with design. You should also know that in the DigiGirls training program, graphics design is very different from UI/UX design. So those who are learning graphics design are learning graphics design. Those who are learning UI/UX design are learning user interface and user experience design. So think of designing apps, designing products. That's what they will be doing. So I hope this has answered that very recurring question. You're not going to learn every single thing. You need to give yourself room to grow. If we teach you everything in 3 months, I promise you, you would not understand everything. It's very, very impossible. So I will now go straight to questions, other questions aside those kind of questions. Okay, so someone wants to know, Ijoma, is it compulsory to have knowledge of UI/UX design to learn graphics or vice versa? So must I know graphics to know UI/UX, or must I know UI/UX to know graphics?
Hmm. So this is a very popular question. Like, people always ask this question, but the truth is that you can actually thrive as a designer without you as a graphics designer without UI UX knowledge, right? And you can also thrive as a UI UX designer without graphics knowledge. However, knowledge of graphics design will give you an edge as a UI UX designer, right? Because graphics design is like the mother. Do you get? That's the mom of this whole thing, right? That's where you get to learn the principles of design, not the principles of UI UX, right? You know UI UX has principles, right? Not the principles of UI, although some of them are actually intertwined, but there are principles of design, right? And then being a graphics designer will make your UI UX journey exponentially faster. Do you get? Right? So I had to learn UI UX sometime last year. And from experience, I mean, it wasn't to me, it was not like some of my other colleagues that were just starting from the beginning. Like they were starting from beginning as graphics designers and the beginning as UI UX designers. You understand? So it actually makes your journey faster, right? So, but just like Abimbola has said, you can't learn everything at once. You will burn out. It has to be one at a time, right? So you don't need the knowledge of this for that, but the knowledge of one will, I mean, contribute to the other. So I hope I
Thank
answered
you
that.
very much for answering that, Ijoma. Another question
Okay.
I have here. Oh, sorry to cut you short.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
But thank you very much. Another question I have here is in our hub. We can see you. Thank you so much for joining us. The question here is, what skills should one have when what? Sorry, how do you delegate design jobs as a designer? How do you know tips in delegation?
Hmm. So for design, for delegating design jobs, um, you get to have to collaborate, right? One is, don't be charging money that will not be enough for you to do anything. Do you understand? Because the money is always the problem. Because so imagine someone is paying you maybe let's say 2,000 naira for a flyer. I'm just saying, right? So someone is paying you because I mean this is one of the things that you get to see when you're just starting out. So someone is paying you 2,000 naira for a flyer, and you have like 10 flyers lined up, and no other graphics designer will collect 2,000 naira from you. You understand? So how are you going to delegate it? You don't have any other designer who can take that job at two. I mean, and if you're even going to I mean, is this sublet now? Give out a design job that you have. You have to actually get some money from the project because you are the one who brought the project, right? So, but when you charge peanuts, you will not have enough to now delegate. One, you will be under pressure to deliver. Number two, you will not have enough money to cater to your needs, right? Number three, you will not now have enough money to employ another graphics designer to do the job, right? So, when you're charging clients, charge with your full chest so that you can delegate. Hmm? That's it for me.
Thank you very much, Ijoma. Thank you. Another recurring question is, what are some of the applications or design tools that I must learn to use or that you use advice to use?
So, I always advise people to start with um the easy ones, right? Start. I mean, there are so many sophisticated design softwares, but I always advise people to start with the easy ones, right? So you move gradually. So start from Canva. Canva is pretty easy. I mean, anybody can design using Canva. So start from Canva. and then work upwards. So from Canva, you move to Photoshop, you move to Adobe Illustrator, you move to InDesign, you move to, Adobe After Effects, that's for motion graphics now. You understand? So start from the easy ones upwards, right? But if you are like me, that you have strong head, you can start from the hard ones. But I'm just saying, right? So start from what works for you, but I always advise start from the easy ones, right? Because at the beginning, I'm not going to lie to you, everything will be like German language to you. You'll be hearing typography at the same time you're hearing fonts. You'll be saying, are they not the same typography and fonts? Which one? What is this one? You'll be hearing, alignment. You'll be hearing color psychology. You'll be, what is all this, right? So don't suffocate yourself with so much knowledge, right? So start from the easy ones and then work upwards. Yeah. So that's it for me.
Thank you very much. So I'm going to take two more questions and then we'll close out for now. Someone is asking what inspired you to be a graphic designer. Adequate, that's a question that's been answered from the very beginning. One of the very first questions, in fact, that she answered. So you might want to rewatch this session to get an answer to that. Moving on, two more questions and then I would close out. Does graphic design involve any mathematical analysis or coding at all? Do I need to learn any sort of analysis
Hmm.
or will coding be a skill for me to learn?
Not exactly, but you are still going to calculate. I know what you're trying to run away from, but you can't run away there. You're still going to calculate, right? You're still going to know how to measure the size um, of your canvas, of your, I mean, the space where you're designing. You're still going to learn what they are called. You're still going to learn how to use grids and lines, right? So you that calculation you're running away from, you're gonna meet it. So I'm just saying. There's actually no coding per se. There's actually no coding, except for those who want to use programming to code websites, right? To code, you understand, that's a different stuff. But like there's actually no coding in design, but you are still going to do some calculations, right? But there are simple things. There are simple things, right? So that's it. Yeah, mathematics, no running. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I feel like I relate to that particular question. A lot of people are looking to get into tech that have no coding background. So
You're
graphics
looking
is
for
one of
somewhere
those
to
areas
get
you can get
away.
into. But remember, you will need
Yeah. Yeah.
remember you will need some calculation. But one more question that I have here is graphics design in this advent of AI. What's the impact that AI has had on graphics design? What impact has AI had on graphics design? And what's the future looking like for graphics designers and graphics design generally as a field in the advent of AI?
So I saw this tweet sometime last year. Someone said AI is coming for your jobs. Graphics designers, AI is coming for your jobs. And I laughed because um I mean, so for example, um let me not use this example, right? But the truth is that as a designer, in fact, as a human being, you should be able to develop fast, move fast, right? AI is coming. Stop running away from AI. Go and use it. Find out how to use that AI, right? So AI is not coming for your job if you move fast enough, right? Know how to use the AI. AI can help make your job better and faster, right? So so like I said, I started out as a social media manager. So I had to learn how to create content and all of that. So with the advent of chat gpt, I had to go and find out how this thing works. And I mean, it helps create content a lot faster, right? Now the truth is that chat gpt can create content, but content writers and content creators are still getting jobs. Why? Because there are people who cannot do the content by themselves. No matter what ChatGPT does, they will still need someone to do content writing for them, right? So be ahead of the game, be the best in your field, right? And being the best means staying on top of the game. You are one of the, I mean, the top 1% of the 1% of the most successful people in that field. AI cannot come for your job, right? So that's it for me. Exactly. AI is not
Thank you so
taking
much.
job.
I feel like we've learned a AI is not taking jobs or making it easier. Thank you so much that we can take. If you have any more questions, I'm very sure Ijoma is happy to connect on LinkedIn. Please send her a connect request and she'll answer any extra questions that you have. She has also very kindly promised to share her slides with us so that it can guide especially those of us looking into graphics design as a career path. Thank you very much, Ijoma. Thank you for being here. We really appreciate all of the insightful comments that you shared with us. It's been a very, very interesting and enjoyable session. I know that I learned a lot. I'm very sure all the ladies learned a lot. Thank you again, Ijoma, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.
Thank you, Abimbola. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for hosting me. You guys enjoy the rest of your day.